Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Communication and Compromise. I'm your host, Kelly New York. Thanks for tuning in. I will say this. Hopefully, I will remember to say this at the beginning of every podcast episode. You guys are my awesome rock audience. Thank you for listening. Even if it's the first time you're listening to me, thank you for taking time out of your life because you didn't have to listen to me. You didn't have to listen to my podcast. The spirits led you here. So that means that I am part of your tribe, and thank you for being part of mine. So I just want to start with my normal gratitude for the people who support my channel and my network. I'm Oprah. I got my own network, my podcast network, Paradigm Shifts Podcast Network. Now let's get into it. So I'm sitting, I'm always sitting, and thinking and sitting, talking to team. Just got back from the gym, did legs today. And my legs hurt. They hurt, but keep moving forward. I keep moving forward. I'm not where I was when I started in November. Shout out to Moves Never Stops, and shout out to my friend at the time that was like, no, your brain controls your body. So I'm both physical and a mental person. And I was like, you could be both. And he was like, yeah, you can be, I'm both. And he is very athletic. He's athletic. He rides bikes. He goes hiking. He does all this other stuff. So I was like, I want that. I want to be like that. So I set out to be like that. And Matthew and Annie are like fitness gurus in their own right, master trainers and stuff. And with their different variety of like training as far as food and just wellness, and then the emotion code and the clearings that I do. So it's a whole lifestyle change. So people just don't think that I just went on a diet, because that's not what happened. It was a whole lifestyle overhaul to get me where I am right now. And I was thinking about that and looking back on that, and it was really me versus me. Like I have this necklace that I made that says me versus me. That's literally it, is me versus me. People ask me why I don't really talk or am my normal default self, which is goofy. I'm just goofy, loud, want to help, I'm a chatterbox, but when the foundation is shaky, or the kingdom is being under attack, or the kingdom is being, scrutinized or anything like that, I shut down. And when I say I shut down, because I've changed. Before, I was shut down completely. Like completely. You wouldn't see me. Nobody would hear from me. Nobody would know what was going on. I wouldn't have my normal routine. I would eat ice cream. I would drink just a whole bunch of just soda. I would eat candy, anything to make my body feel better, because it was me versus me. I had to feed the monster that wants to just burn it all down. So it was like, I always had to like feed it. So now that we're at a higher vibrational level and we're at a higher level, now I speak to it. I speak to it. I speak to that part of me that wants to burn it all down. I speak to the part of me that wants to go cuss every single person out. I speak to the part of me that is human. I speak to it. And we get into a debate. We get into a whole heat. Sometimes it is heated, because like I said in the last video, it's like, yo, so we're not going to do nothing, and it's just like, no. So we just going to keep doing this. It's like, and you're like, yes, because we're going to keep moving forward. And it's like, it's like it's like I'm in a war room. And everyone's sitting at the table, and everyone has a say. The ego has a say. The soul has a say. The spirit has a say. The body has a say. The brain is part of the body, so it has a say. The spirits have a say. You understand? The ancestors have a say. Everyone has a say in what goes on, so that we make the right decision. Does that make sense? I don't want you to go into a war room and you're at war, because I've done that too, that you're at war with yourself and everyone, and no one's listening. That's not what I'm talking about. Or you're doing reckless stuff. You're eating this, you're doing that. You're not getting out of bed and all that stuff. Am I saying that there's not time that you have to take a knee? No, that's not what I'm saying, because I've been hit so hard sometimes that I couldn't get out of bed. I had to take a knee. I had to take a knee because the body had to recover. The spirit couldn't just be like, all right, let's get up and go, because the body was done. It was like, it was done for that moment, and it had to process the grief. It had to process what was happening, and it had to allow it to gradually see the lesson in it and how the lesson is for my betterment. It's not just enough to see what the lesson is. You have to see why you're doing the lesson and how that lesson is going to be better. It's going to be to your betterment. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make your life better in the long run. Long-term gains, short pain, long-term gains. That's what I've learned. And for me, it's just like, okay, it hurts now. Yes, it happened. It hurt. I healed, and I kept moving forward. So it's like, you just got to keep going. You have to keep going, because it's going to be okay. And the person that you're fighting, I wouldn't say fighting, the person that you're trying to convince and make understand and be in the war room with, that's really, because the spirits understand what's going on, or your soul understands what's going on. The part of you that's like, what? So we not going to do nothing, is your ego and your body, because in your body, it doesn't feel good, because it feels like betrayal. It feels like people didn't keep their promises. It feels like you trusted someone and they already knew you were hurt and they hurt you anyway. That's crazy. So it's like, you see how it can get, and it can go real quick. So if you don't pull on it and be like, hey, we're not going to look at it that way. We're going to look at it this way, because what they meant for evil, it's going to be fine, because everything always works out for me, and all things work together for good, because everything always works out for me. You understand? So whatever they thought they were doing, that's not what you're doing. It's kind of like, oh, throw her in the fire, not knowing she's a fucking phoenix. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, fire doesn't burn me. It hurts. Don't get it twisted. It hurts. This hurts. It hurts. And it hurts a little bit more because you cannot get vindictive or vindicated from it. You have to the trophy is to learn and elevate. That's it. You can't get back at that person. You can't, be like, oh, which one of your mofos, blah, 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 blah. You understand? You can't do that, because in doing that, you lower yourself and lower your vibration to a level you're not supposed to be at. And then guess what? All the progress you made to get at the level that you were at before whatever you allowed to dropped you, you have to go back up to that level. Does that make sense? Instead of just going forward. So I wrap up to say, the biggest person and the most pushback you're going to get is from your ego and your body, because your body doesn't like how it feels, and your ego's pissed off because your ego's bruised. Do you understand? Whether you deserved it or not, your ego's bruised, and your ego always wants blood. It wants someone's head. You understand? So you have to understand why it happened, what the lesson was on why it happened, and how this lesson is moving your needle and moving you forward on the road that you're on. Because once you focus on those things, everything else is irrelevant. Why they did it, who did it, it's irrelevant. I don't care. How is this going to benefit me? Okay, God, this happened. How is this benefiting me? Those are the questions you ask. Don't ask, how could they do this to me? Why did they do this to me? Don't ask those questions. Ask the questions of, how is this going to benefit me? How is this going to benefit my legacy? How is this going to benefit what I am working towards? What is the benefit in this? Is there a benefit? And even if they're like, no, there's no benefit, okay, there must be something that I'm doing that's attracting this. So what did I do that made this happen? What did I not pay attention to? Or did I pay attention to too much that was a waste of time? Does that make sense to you? So that's what I need you to focus on. All right. Love you guys. Stay up, stay blessed. Deuces, and we out.